My dad actually just got diagnosed with terminal 4-stage cancer.
We've been here for a month now to support the family, and it's because it's out of love. The first question, how are you feeling?
Shit is hitting the fan in our lives.
Be honest to how you feel and what you want and act on it for yourself. Hey, good morning guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sheng and I help people and organizations think through their toughest problems. And I'm joined today by my wife, Olivia. Today we're actually going to be talking about emotion mind mapping. And this is something that I've already made a video on previously, and I've gotten a lot of great feedback around how helpful it has been for people to actually be able to identify their emotions and actually work through some of the events and triggers behind them. Mainly because when it comes to emotions, we're either experiencing it, drowning in it, or you can actually identify what they are and actually be on top of it. I developed this tool in order for it to be a way for us to do self-therapy, since sometimes we don't have access to a therapist, or our friends might not be able to be well equipped to actually identify these things for us. And I think that emotional literacy is so critically important, because if you can't identify your emotions, you can't effectively deal with them. Today, we're gonna do a live session with Olivia because there's been just a lot of things going on in our lives. I think this would be a really good opportunity to just go through another example with you guys. There's basically 3 major steps to this process. The mapping and identification is actually just the first step. And like I said, the process itself is what is going to make you feel better. Afterwards, writing out the conclusions. What are some of the insights that you derive from the exercise, right? What kind of triggers or events did you actually find that is related to the emotions you're feeling? And then finally, what kind of actions do you want to take towards that based on the insights and how you're feeling. And sometimes it could be managing or avoiding certain triggers. Maybe you want to do some mindset work. For example, there's meditation, there's reading, there's journaling. Sometimes no action is the best action. Sometimes just being aware of it, being mindful of it, and just letting it pass, because emotions always pass. With that said, the 2 tools that we're going to be using today are the Human Emotion Wheel, which I'm a huge fan of, and this is essentially just like a color wheel with 3 tiers of the 6 major emotions of anger, sadness, surprise, joy, love, and fear, which then get expanded upon in secondary and tertiary levels of granularity. I would say challenge yourself to go at least a 2nd level to practice your emotional literacy. The 3rd level, sometimes maybe you won't find it, but definitely at least the 2nd level. The second part is the mind map part. We're gonna be using a template, and it all begins with how am I feeling? If you've been on my channel for a while, you'll know that I like to begin mind mapping with a question as the central topic. And then from there, how am I feeling? I'll be answering it with the 1st level of emotion based on the emotion mind map, and then identifying the 2nd level emotion and 3rd level emotion. After I've identified how I'm feeling specifically, I can then go into, what do I think is actually triggering it? This is what I call events. Event 1, event 2. And then from that, we will be unpacking what's a related factor. What is the 2nd order cause or effect of that event? And then finally, we'll go through some connections. Are certain events connected to each other? They might even be related to other emotions. All of this is gonna make a lot more sense once we actually go through our example with Olivia. Let's jump in. The first question, how are you feeling?
So I honestly, as I look at the wheel, I think the reason it's so complicated for me is because I feel like I'm in all of the different ranges. For one, I'm really proud of us making a morning routine, because I've actually needed to create boundaries for myself in order to regulate even my own mental and physical health. And so there's kind of a genuine happiness and joy about being able to find my own footing in a way, because I have felt quite overwhelmed.
And it's interesting.
With the situation.
Proud is under the family joy. Proud of, what do you think are some of the events? You said routines.
Staying up with the gym, keeping my mindset really high and positive. Gym, which is food, right?
Mindset.
All those things. Sleep. Maybe I do like this wheel a little bit.
Oh, I mean, with any new tool, it takes a little bit getting used to. And the thing is, if you are already emotionally literate, or your vocabulary from an emotion standpoint is already very robust, you don't need to go for this wheel. It's more of like an assist of sorts if you need it. But sometimes you already have identified, and that's fine. The other thing with using this tool is that sometimes you can actually use it to identify positive. I know between my two videos, I actually had one on negative and one on positive. The one on negative emotions of fear, anger, and sadness, way more popular. Mainly because, we're in pain. When we're happy, we don't necessarily note it, we're just in it. But sometimes it's actually very important to actually note the happy emotions too, because this is the basis of gratitude, of appreciation, of mindset work as well, to remind ourselves of how we're winning. Because often we just get bombarded with all this crap about how shitty we are, social comparison, social media, critics everywhere.
By the way, I've been going to therapy again since I was 16. So
Yes.
I just want to put out there that like my survival mechanism is to lean on the positive when I'm drowning. Like we
Yes.
are in drowning mode right now.
Yeah.
My dad actually just got diagnosed with terminal 4-stage cancer, pancreatic cancer. We will eventually have hospice here in this living room. We are going to be taking care of him till end of life.
Yes.
I've had a lot of caregiving in my background because we took care of my mom's parents for 9 years. So much is going on. Actually, Shang, from feeling frazzled and overwhelmed, he had suggested, would I be willing to sit down and do a video and emotion mind map? But it is very interesting, and I just want to note that why I'm going to the positive is the first thing I want to share, is because that is actually, honestly, how I keep my head above the water.
Absolutely.
I always lean on joy. I always lean on love. I literally lean on the green and the yellow of this entire wheel. All the time. If I don't focus on that, I fall into a hole. I'm bipolar. Like I have a mood disorder, okay?
Yeah.
Like being bipolar 1, I can't sit on the depressive side. I will fall into a hole, slip down, and never be able to get back up again. And so in order to stay resilient, I try to lean on, okay, I might have these fears and everything, but how can I reframe and think positively? That said, let's definitely unpack the fear part, unpack the anger part, sadness. There's a reason it's a wheel. In a beautiful way, I think it's all related.
Just now, I actually noted in green, right, on the mind map, that with joy, it's actually an adaptation / survival mechanism for Olivia. That's
Yes.
actually something important to note as something that one of the insights.
Absolutely. And something my therapist said the other week, actually, which I thought was really beautiful. Guys, if you think about it, nervousness and excitement biologically do the same thing to our bodies. I feel like there's a lot of things that we can take agitation from and then say, what can that be instead? Or how can I reframe that? Or what is the positive? What is the silver lining in any situation?
This is the thing with mind mapping, is that it's non-linear, right? It's whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to follow a set structure. That's the thing. Of course, having a template helps, but this is actually a real life example of something. When you have chaos in your life, you just need to get it out of your head. One of the reasons why you might have a stress nausea is that it's almost like the lack of outlet as well, right? It's almost kind of like, how do I get it out of my system? Because when we keep things in, it's like a toxin, essentially. I mean, that's why we have a digestive system and gets rid of toxins and all that, right? Emotions are similar in that respect. From a nausea standpoint, actually, I don't know if nausea actually is on here, but is it? I'm so curious. What do you think nausea would be associated with?
Probably the anxious, dreadful, worried.
Yeah.
It's on the fear for
It's
certain.
on
Because
fear.
under nervous, because it's just, again, nervous, nausea, mortified, dreadful.
Exactly.
Those guys.
So I'm gonna do red for nausea because that's an event. My book.
Interestingly enough, I'm also looking at the sadness side, and I could actually see myself pulling it also / I don't know, right? I can't say everything. It's
Of
not
course,
so
it could be multiple, actually. Often it is
single-faceted,
multiple.
yeah. Because I want to say, in a lot of ways, this whole disheartened and dismayed from the disappointed or sad,
That's
hopeless even, hopeless, I would say is a real reason to feel nauseous.
All right, let's work with that, actually. Under anxious, what are you anxious about?
For one, I'm just anticipating my body falling apart. I'm not trying to make that happen for myself. But my issues are so real, whether it's my spina bifida. I have a gap in my spine, very premature, so just incredibly underdeveloped. I have, my skin rashes have been going out of control. So if I'm really, really stressed, I'll get head to toe eczema.
So stress-induced eczema.
As well as stress-induced inflammation in general. So I think it's rhinitis. It's the eye inflammation that you get from allergies. So my allergies flare up.
Actually, both of these are caused by by stress. What do you think are some of the sources of your stress?
It's the fact that we have to juggle so much, right? I'm still working literally 8 hours a day, so I'm working full time while juggling family, of course, as well as then needing to do all of these things to literally hold my body together. I am on so many medications, I want to cry. And it is easy to, I think, do the whole self-loathing, to like beat myself up. Like, it would be so much easier if my body wasn't so broken. Even my mom's saying that to both Gabriella and I. Like, wow, it would really suck if your body was falling apart. My mom is, of course, having a hard time mentally, but her body's pretty strong. Gabriella and I, she gets her blisters, I get my rashes, like we're a mess. So yeah, it's the maintenance, it's the family, it's work and juggling that. It's work being in a different time zone. So I'm CST, but they're PDT, which means I'm just having to basically work PDT hours. I mean, of course I could work CST hours, but you end up needing to jump on things and like help with fires in the evening. So that's a really good learning. Look at me, I'm automatically always making it positive. Anyways, we won't go down that rabbit hole.
For sure,
right now.
no, it is important to fully explore that as well, right? Because the thing is, like, you know, regardless of whether or not we respond to it, of course, we get to choose our mindset, how we respond to it. However, this is still a reality. All of this is still a reality. Whether or not it still induces stress, and, you know, anticipating your body falling down, and kind of is based on real stress, is causing anxiousness, which is actually causing a nausea effect. This is an event. Regardless of whether or not you actually approach it in a happy way or in a positive way, the fact of the matter is that your body doesn't lie. So all of this factor is still very real. So let's go back to anxious. Is there anything else that is causing you anxiety?
It's really interesting. So I haven't been living with my family in a while. Obviously, like, we're adult-ass women, so we've gone out and we started our life in San Francisco. My sister lives here in Houston. My parents were back in France. It's so interesting being back with the family, you guys. I'm sure you can relate too. We all have this. We all have triggers from our family. And so I don't know if that's anxious.
Yes, exactly.
It might be agitated. So it's all under that one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Agitation.
Oh, no, it's under anger. Oh,
now we're exploring anger, right? Which is interesting because we initially identified it as anxious, but now we have family line, and then we have anger as aspirated. So under is aspirated.
Annoyed, frustrated. It's all or irritable even. Irritable. So I just wanted to stop and note this for a second. I'm actually very proud of us for getting our own apartment. And I say that because it's no small deal to go ahead and sign a lease and make big life decisions like that. But at the same time, you guys, this is why it's so important to understand where you are, be honest with your emotions, so that you can follow through with the actions that are gonna support you the best you need. And so we immediately, I remember sitting with the leasing dude, and he literally said like, oh, how soon do you guys want to move in? I'm like, how soon can we move in? Let's expedite this shit. Like, we need to get out. And again, very happy to be here with my family, like to be able to support them. But I'm realizing I feel so frayed and frazzled. And especially when we're on top of each other, like it's not a fun situation. Literally shit is hitting the fan. It's hard to feel good in this situation. But at the same time, like, we need positivity. We need to be in a good place in order to support each other, to have the emotional and empathetic bandwidth in order to heal and loving as we can during such hard times.
Right now, I'm actually taking down some insights, right? Because, you know, I'm glad Olivia highlighted that because it is a big decision. The way I would synthesize that is be honest to how you feel and what you want and act on it for yourself.
Or even need. It's
kind of like when you get on a plane, the first thing they tell you is like, help yourself first before you help others. Because if you're falling apart, you're actually adding to the toxicity of the freaking, you know, cesspool of emotions that's actually brewing. So really, you have to be clear-headed and you have to heal yourself first before you heal and help others. If you guys are finding this video helpful so far, please be sure to hit that like or subscribe button because it helps me out a lot. And also feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or if this is really helpful.
Make sure to check out Mind Map Nation because we do a lot of these things as well as some live events where you can actually talk with Shang and I, and we sort of unpack some of this. A lot of it has to do with mind mapping, but a lot of it's also just personal and getting to know each other. So I would really recommend that.
All right, let's get back into it.
Oh my God, like if you're the baby or like if you're the sibling in the family that gets this all the time, you totally know what I'm talking about. My mom and my sister ask me for everything, but like ridiculous things. Like I'll be on the other side of the house and my sister has stairs in her house and my mom will like ask me to pass her the remote. And it's like in front of her on the table. I'm like, sure, let me just walk through this whole house and give you the remote. The thing is, I'm willing to do that right now because of the situation. Just the cognitive, oh my gosh, the like shift from task to task. I'm just giving context to like the agitation, and I'm sure that's very relatable. So if that helps you unpack similar emotions, it's literally that frustration. Like it seems like a petty day-to-day small little thing. That shit adds up. So
it does actually.
And so much so that then when my dad is needing painkillers and stuff, like, and of course I do that graciously, but I feel so afraid for my interactions with my sister and my mom. It's so hard for me to just like, I actually feel like a part of my soul has already been ripped out or drained out of my body, that I feel like I'm lacking personality. And so like, as I'm getting my dad his painkillers, I'm like exhausted reading the labels of each of these pills, like trying to make sure it's the right one. But I feel like I'm on my last brain cell because of all the shit I had to deal with Gabrielle and my mom. And again, I want to support them. So, okay, now I can support them, but I can also take care of me first so that I have the bandwidth to do it and to do it graciously rather than begrudgingly.
Right here, this is actually where you can really expand on the map, right? Because in addition to all anger, exasperation, agitation, aggravated, I use the red to actually note essentially what that actually means. What that means is she's actually aggravated by the little sibling effect, where everything kind of falls on the little sibling to gopher around the house doing different things, which is fine, but in a context, you have a lot of other things to juggle. What that means is that it leads to lack of focus. And when she can't focus, that means her work suffers, her emotional state suffers, her effectiveness suffers. She can't serve her family or her dad as well, and her own health also decreases. The way to address that is to get space in order to help others. So that's why I drew an arrow
right
back here. It
to
feeds
that point.
right back. This is actually like what the Dalai Lama says as wise selfish. Be selfish for yourself in order for the betterment of everybody else.
And that means getting really honest with yourself. In
Very
fact, this
honest.
is something I explained to my mom and my sister, and not even to be mean to them. For example, the soy sauce thing with my sister. I literally almost exploded in the kitchen, and I turned to her and I'm like, I want to help you, but you have to understand how I use the kitchen. Because I'm super neurodivergent because of the bipolars. She's also neurodivergent in her own ways, not to call her out like that, but she can do 1,000 different things. Like it's almost like the ADHD side of things. Like she can do so many things at once. I need to do one thing, and if I'm working on that one thing, I have to focus on that one thing. I can't like just hand you something because now I'm like scanning, I'm getting away from my thing and I'm forgetting what I'm doing. This is just like the nature of honestly like even my executive dysfunction to some degree. It was really good for me to stop and explain that. I wasn't even being mean about it. It was like I just realized in that moment I had to explain it to her because I didn't want to be unavailable. But at the same time, I also was like, wow, I don't think the value add right now to pass you soy sauce is worth me totally getting distracted and not being able to get back to work in a timely manner because I still, again, needed to I was literally at lunch on my lunch break and then needing to get back to my computer.
This is actually part of the power of the emotional mind map is because once you map this out, you understand that what is anger. This is actually really important for getting into kind of like some specifics like getting soy sauce, right? This is something that you would naturally react in anger because of course you're aggravated, you're agitated, you don't feel so great. However, by mapping this out, you know that it's now coming from a place of actually wanting to help. You do want to help. The thing is, you actually have two choices right now. You can either react in anger with the soy sauce situation, or you can take action for yourself and get your own space. However, if you take action for yourself, sometimes your family might not actually understand that, right? They might take it the wrong way or something. This is where emotion mind mapping is really important because you can actually frame it in a loving kindness way. Rather than, oh, I just wanted my own space. So this is where I'm gonna actually expand on this, which is if all of your things leading to helping others, on the surface, it looks like anger, but it's actually coming from a place of love. So let's explore that for a moment. So under love, like the fact that you want to help, which emotion of love do you feel that you might be coming from, wanting to help?
I think definitely love, affectionate, compassionate. Because I actually really feel for even how my sister's feeling and how my mom's feeling, of course, because I'm feeling the same way. So I 100% want to support them. I mean, there's a reason that I did still get her the soy sauce. I'm talking, she's next to the fridge and she's asking me to dig through the fridge to get the soy sauce. Just give some more context to that soy sauce. It wasn't like go to Kroger. It was just get it for her. But I'm also trying to do something. But again, why do I want to extend myself so much to get the soy sauce and everything else that I need to hand over? It's because I do feel very compassionate about the situation. Like I just feel for it's the empathetic. I'm wondering if there's anything for empathetic.
I just want to back up a little bit. We went from overwhelm, nausea, fear, nervous, anxious, and then we uncover family, right? Which then triggered your anger, agitation, aggravation. And we actually went specifically what is actually causing that to, yes, proximity trauma, as well as getting our own apartment, getting more space, and identifying that it's actually coming from a place of love. This has very profound repercussions in terms of communication, because now you can actually frame it from a place of love when you try to explain why you need your own space. It's so because there's a difference between going like, hey guys, I need my own space, leave me alone, right? That actually just causes more aggravation versus going, hey guys, I actually need my own space. I need to get my own apartment, or I need to go to a cafe for a couple hours because I want to be able to show up in my best self for you guys. When you need me the most, I want to show up and I want to be able to take care of you because I love you. Notice that difference, right? Versus,
get out of my way.
Get out of my way, exactly.
I'm out of here. Pack my bags and out the front door.
Our emotions at the end of the day are so complex. It's literally like you went from one emotion, from fear to anger to love.
And it truly is all interconnected and interwoven that way. I think that's what you see from that. It's literally a web. A mind map really reminds me of a web.
The next step after this is to actually write this down into like a list form of actually like affirmations, like a whole sentence. So for example, I feel angry because my family keeps on telling me to go get stuff all the time, and I can't focus and I can't be there for them fully, effectively, and I'm frustrated at myself for doing that. In order to address that, I need to carve out time for myself, and I will do that by doing X, Y, and Z. When you write it out into that phrase, you have identified how you feel, you honor your feelings, you also identify the causes of it, and what you are going to do about it. That is a very empowering sentence or way of dealing with your emotions rather than just like, coughing up a fur ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that actually brings it full circle. Even, as I've done therapy, I think the most beautiful and empowering thing that therapists have reminded me of is that I have the answers in myself. We all have our own answers. If a therapist is giving you more advice than they are listening, they're not doing it right. I mean, maybe you don't have the emotional literacy yet, so it's hard to dig through things, but tools like this can help you get there. That's awesome.
And you know what? We didn't have a therapist in the room. Just ourselves, really. If you enjoyed the session, definitely check out mindmapnation.com and sign up for my newsletter. I usually send out weekly snippets of different tools, tips, thoughts, different pieces of wisdom to share with you guys. Thank you so much, Olivia, for joining me.
Oh, let's do more.
We will. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, take care.
See you guys.